response from one of Brady's biggest critics. Tom Brady has had a full Hall of Fame career in the time since I made the Cliff prediction. Well done, Max Kellerman. All I got to say is bet on Brady. I was always taught bet on yourself, also bet on Tom Brady.
Unless he's facing Eli Manning, but that's right.
Oh, okay, that's true. Okay. Stay focused. All right, what did Tom prove getting this done without Bill Belichick? Because that was the big storyline heading into the season. Is it Belichick? Is it Brady? And
he proved everything. He proved everything. This was an enormous legacy game. I tried to say beforehand, Brady had the most to gain in these entire playoffs, and he did it. He's going back to the Super Bowl. He bested Montana. Montana, who was 4-0 in Super Bowls, 13 touchdowns, no interceptions, and then, he has Jerry Rice, and he's in a great system. He goes to Kansas City, takes him to the AFC Championship game. Brady did one better. He goes to the NFC, goes to the Bucs, and takes him to the Super Bowl by beating Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers on the road. Brees, after losing to Brees and his team twice, and Aaron Rodgers is the MVP, and he goes on the road and beats them by outplaying them when it counted. I talked about Aaron Rodgers just now. Drew Brees also. Fourth quarter, what's going to happen? Tie game. We know what's going to happen. Brady ain't going to mess it up. He was amazing. He's been amazing. When I say he's had a full Hall of Fame career since I made the Cliff prediction, I just got to give it up. If from the moment I made the Cliff prediction, it's been 5 seasons, any quarterback who ever lived had a 5-year career and said, okay, I'm going to hang it up, and did what Brady just did. 4 Super Bowl appearances. Playing the way he's played, only one season really where he wasn't great. He was only okay at the last season in New England, which it does appear now was because of what everyone's saying, lack of weapons. Because when you gave him weapons, he was great when he needed to be. He proved that not only is he the greatest of all time, but in fact, he's been better than Aaron Rodgers, which I never thought was the case. If you have the requisite arm strength, then in fact, what it turns out is decision-making and leadership are the most important things at the quarterback position. We've seen it with Brady, Tom, and again, it was important for him to do it without Belichick. I don't care how stacked the Bucs were. He just did it. I stand down. He is the GOAT and the boat and everything else.
Want to throw in a whoops or oops there, too?
No need.
I'm just asking. I'm just checking. You
sure? It was a solid tweet.
You good? Huh?
It was a solid tweet. A Hall of Fame career since he made the Cliff
Congratulations.
prediction.
Here's the deal. Bill Belichick, in terms of what Tom Brady has proven, he's proven nothing as it pertains to Bill Belichick. When we look at Bill Belichick, the greatness of Bill Belichick as a coach, this doesn't compromise Bill Belichick. Tom Brady's ascension in the NFC, with his 1 year going from New England, has proved nothing against Bill Belichick, the coach. Mm-hmm. Bill Belichick, the GM, looks incredibly, incredibly bad. I would remind everybody, one of the biggest reasons Tom Brady wanted out was clearly Bill Belichick wouldn't kiss the ring, but also because he was bereft of talent in New England, and people were, like you, were thinking Tom Brady was done, as opposed to appreciating the lack of weapons that he was working with and still managing to get the New England Patriots to the playoffs. And obviously the 3 consecutive Super Bowls in which he won 2. Let's remember that. In the end, what it comes down to is just in recent memory, let's recall that you had an opportunity to get A.J. Brown or D.K. Metcalf. Bill Belichick drafted N'Keal Harry. Let's recall that even though we respect the skill set of Sony Michel because he can run with the football, no question about that, we forget that Bill Belichick passed up on Lamar Jackson to get Sony Michel. Think about what the New England Patriots would have looked like this year with Lamar Jackson as their quarterback instead of Cam Newton. And so when you look at it from that perspective, it's really highlighted what Tom Brady was working with, what he was working against, what he didn't have available to him. And it also elevated his zest to depart because people were writing him off and assuming he was done. And what he was saying is, no, he ain't going to come out and say, I don't have much to work with. I'm strapped. I'm handcuffed. He ain't going to do that. He ain't going to throw his teammates under the bus like that. But that's clearly how he was feeling. And so to be in Tampa right now, heading to the Super Bowl. And by the way, they did it last night without Antonio Brown, who did not play. Scotty Miller is no joke. He's no Julian Edelman. He's no Danny Amendola.
No, he got afterburners.
This brother, what he wearing? It's a 4-3. This brother special. I mean, he's their primary deep threat. It ain't Mike Evans. It ain't Chris Godwin. It damn sure ain't Gronk or Brait. It's him. So Scotty Miller is no joke. But in the end, what it comes down to is with him and the dudes that I just mentioned, Tom Brady has weapons. And when it came down to him, it was good enough to get you to a Super Bowl appearance in your first year with another team.
I want to say something about Tom Brady having weapons. That's important. And Bill Belichick went 7-9 with nothing. COVID, and he lost players off the defense before the season even started, and Brady left him high and dry with nothing in the cupboard, and he went 7-9 because he's a great coach. Tom Brady went to a stacked team and took him to the Super Bowl. Just because you're stacked don't mean you're going to the Super Bowl. A lot of stacked teams ain't in the Super Bowl right now. But even if it's Brady just analyzing what he needs and going there, that also is to his credit. LeBron does the same thing. LeBron knows if I can play with this guy and this guy, I can make a run. And then he does all the time. Floyd Mayweather did the same thing. I can fight this guy at this stage in his career. In other words, the best in the business are also the best evaluators of talent, of situation, of opponent. That doesn't mean because Tom Brady put himself in a great situation, it takes away from his greatness for getting there. If anything, it shows you that his understanding of the game is more profound than everyone else's. I have to give it up. Brady proved everything in so far in these playoffs. Even if he doesn't win the Super Bowl, he proved everything.
See how slick Max is? See how slick it is? Because you see, he wants the segment to end with that. So we forget the years we've been listening to him say otherwise. I'm with you.
I'm going to have it end with this.
That's my Christmas gift.
That's how you want it. He
didn't want it to end with me. He didn't want it to end with what I said. You want it to end with what you said.
Last word.
No, I want the last word.
That's what you wanted. You want us to remember that.
I want the last word.
The 3 years.
Maybe.
Listen, Tom Brady's closest contemporaries, right? Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Big Ben, all together combined for 9 Super Bowls. This man has 10. The GOAT.
Oh, because he had Belichick.
Brady.
Somebody got some explaining to do. And it ain't just me. The crew's in the house. It's time for First Take. Let's go.
That's how it should be, you know. The 2 best teams in the conference should be getting together and seeing how it all goes down.
Brady has all kinds of time. Throws toward the end zone. It is a caught ball. Touchdown, Mike Evans.
Leonard Fournette on a 20-yard run. Oh, my goodness. That is game-altering. Touchdown! And the Packers vault back into the NFC Championship game.
And the Packers just won't go away.
It's do or die right now. And a late flag is thrown on the play.
Tampa Bay is heading to the Super Bowl.
2 words, Tom Brady. Oh, my goodness. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, I'm Molly Karam Rose. Max, it took me a lot not to tweet at you yesterday. This man is unreal. I know you're both a little sour today. That bad man got taken down. Let's get right into it.
Not sour.
Stephen A's at a loss for words for once here. The Bucs beat the Packers 31-26, sending Tom Brady to his 10th Super Bowl. But it was Matt LaFleur's decision to kick a field goal on 4th and goal that had everybody asking questions after the game. Listen up.
We essentially had 4 timeouts with the 2-minute warning. And, you know, we knew we needed to get a stop. And I thought we were going to have a stop there at the end, but, you know, we got called for the PI. And it didn't work out.
Well, I didn't have a decision on that one. Yeah, that wasn't my decision. I thought maybe we're going to have 4 chances to go.
I think Aaron Rodgers needs a new environment, but that's a later discussion in the show. First, Stephen A., let's focus on that 4th and goal call. Did that cost Aaron Rodgers a trip to the Super Bowl?
I believe it did. And what I mean when I say that it cost him, meaning it eradicated any chance that he had of pulling it off. That's all I mean by that. There were a lot of plays that preceded that, and we get all of that. We understand that this is a 60-minute football game, and we get it. We also understand that Tom Brady and his greatness and at age 43 and all that he accomplished, that's the kind of stuff that we'll be talking about as the show progresses. But not Mike Patton, even though he was awful as a defensive coordinator. He was awful. Matt LaFleur. We're going back to LaFleur. We're not going LaFleur. We're going LaFleur. Right. Just for the purposes of the day. If it sounds disrespectful, to hell with it. Matt LaFleur.
They hit LaFleur last night.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, this man, it was a straight choke job by the coach. If this were a player, we would call it a choke job. Matt LaFleur choked, coached scared, out of his damn mind, looked in over his head, and oh, by the way, at the end of the day, ended up reminding you why it was questionable why he was named the head coach of the Green Bay Packers to begin with. Because for those of you who don't remember, this was the man who presided over the 27th ranked offense in the National Football League in the Tennessee Titans when he was hired as the coach of the Green Bay Packers. In a day and age when the Eric Bieniemy, who's number one in practically every category, can't get a job, Matt LaFleur is the head coach of a team quarterbacked by Aaron Rodgers. You started off the season screwing him over because you had a succession plan that you put right in front of his face by drafting Jordan Love, and you ended the season by taking the ball out of the hands of a guy who is about to be named league MVP, flat out balling, 45 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm so disgusted with what I saw from Matt LaFleur yesterday. It's just inexcusable. We walked into this game. Let's call it what it is. Molly, Max, we walked into this game. What were we thinking? We want to see Aaron Rodgers get Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. We'll see Aaron Rodgers get Tom Brady. Now, if a Steve Kerr or a John Paxson or somebody, Max, takes the winning jump shot, who gave him the ball? It was MJ. You make that call. You don't sit. Even Phil Jackson knew better than to sit up there and have somebody else make the call other than Jordan. You give the man the ball and you say, take me to the promised land. But because of analytics and all of these folks out there talking about probabilities and all of this other stuff about your chances of converting a 4th and goal at the 8-yard line, God forbid that I give it to the man. Now, listen, I'm not letting Kevin King off the hook. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This cornerback right here, it should be difficult for him to walk the street of any NFL city. His performance was an embarrassment. Gave up the touchdown to Mike Evans to begin the game. Gave up the touchdown at the end of the first half to Scotty Miller, letting him get behind you when there's only 6 seconds on the clock. And everybody has seen it, whether it was against the Raiders or throughout his history. Tom Brady takes chances in situations like that. And then the pass interference call when you grabbed on the dude's jersey, which ultimately led to Tom Brady then being able to convert a first down. But Matt LaFleur, at the end of the day, it's your job to oversee the team. It's your job to let defensive coordinator Mike Pettin know that you can't have a cornerback in single coverage. You got no help over the top. And it's also Matt LaFleur's responsibility to recognize the fact that I've got this bad man, Aaron Rodgers, and I'm going down with the ship. He coached scared. He choked. And at the end of the day, this will be a lasting memory as far as I'm concerned. I got more to say, but the floor is yours.
He did choke. He absolutely choked. If by he you mean Aaron Rodgers, why are you trying to shift the blame off of Aaron Rodgers? Read my lips. Aaron Rodgers choked.
Whoa.
Aaron Rodgers choked.
I haven't heard anybody say that.
Here's the bottom line. He and Tom Brady were playing each other, and there was enormous legacy on the line. Enormous. Because people like me, and I really believe, I'm shocked that it went down the way it did, thought, come on, everyone knows Rodgers is better than Brady. Talk to anyone who's played against either guy. They're like, of course Rodgers is better. Rodgers has all the decision-making plus much more talent. Brady was going to be great wherever he was, but lucky that he was with Belichick. And I don't care how loaded the Bucs are. Brady went to 9 Super Bowls with Belichick, barely lost 3 of them. And then goes to Tampa, and I don't care how loaded they are. He's in the Super Bowl again, year 1. Belichick was 7-9. Yeah, Brady stacked the deck in his favor, but whatever. And Brady wasn't even great last night until he needed to be. Then he made the plays.